Hello and welcome to AUC TV. I'm Shahad Al Hamdan and you're watching 31 Minutes. AUC Venture Lab is a new place where potential ideas come to life. We're going to explore the unseen connection between Egypt and India. Not too far from India, we're exploring the world of yoga. A female lion trainer finds her safety in lions' cages. Startup culture is on the rise globally, and Cairo is no exception. Adham Zidan explores the newest player in the startup game, right here at AUC.
Today, all sorts of people are coming together at AUC's Mu'taz Al-Alfi Hall. Journalists, entrepreneurs, tech geeks and investors, all of them here to witness the innovation coming out of AUC's new Venture Lab.
The idea was to create a program, a whole entrepreneurship and innovation program, to help and support entrepreneurs, to inspire entrepreneurs, to teach entrepreneurs how to turn their ideas into businesses.
The Venture Lab is an accelerator/incubator for startups based in Egypt. Its aim is to help these startups commercialize their ideas. Today, the first cycle is graduating. These 6 startups were selected from among hundreds for their commercial viability as well as their innovative potential.
Looking at the businesses that are graduating today, I'm dumbstruck. I'm seeing things from landmine detection, using technology to improve the lives of blind people, apps for connecting businesses, gaming apps. There is nothing that we can't do here in Egypt.
Each company was given access to AUC's facilities, specialized lectures, as well as help in exploring funding options by introducing them to investors. The Venture Lab also focused on coupling each startup with a mentor to best match their needs.
I think one of the key elements in having our program where it is today is because the engagement of multiple mentors, and not just those who succeeded, but more importantly, those who failed. And I always stress on that point because that's exactly where we learn from.
The Venture Lab provided the startups with a financial reward of £20,000 each to help jumpstart their business. This grant was given at no equity, meaning the startups were not asked to give a percentage of their business in return. This is one of the main points that differentiates the Venture Lab from other incubators.
It's not just business or investors dealing with business. لا, the AUC is incubating as non-profit organization, incubating businesses عشان تطلعها وتحسن سواء البيزنسز دي فبالتالي يحسن المجتمع فبالتالي يحسن الدولة بصفة عامة. This by its own is entrepreneurship, and I love this part about the AUC.
Another point that sets the Venture Lab apart is the longer time frame given. These startups may be graduating now, but that doesn't mean it's the end of the line for them at the Venture Lab. It only means they've finished the acceleration phase. The next phase, incubation, which lasts another 6 months, starts now.
This is what the unique experience about AUC. So in other accelerators, you only take 3 to 4 months. You should done everything. And if you are just graduated, you didn't have all things to be done in 4 months.
And as these companies strive to achieve as much as they can in the time they have, a new set of startups is brought in, sharing the space that the Venture Lab operates on AUC's new campus. The idea of this overlap is to increase collaboration as well as build a community of innovators. Although according to Sharif Kamel, this is not enough.
I don't think we need 1 incubator or 2 or 3 or 4. I think maybe we need 100. And that incubator should be all over Egypt. Because I don't think ideas come only from Cairo. India, in the next 10 years, and that's the right figure, are planning to build 1,500 universities, and that's 1500. At least half of them, they are planning to have university-based incubators within the campus. So just work the math.
So the lesson seems to be there's still a long road ahead. But until then, AUC's Venture Lab will continue to play its part alongside other Egyptian incubators to help a growing number of entrepreneurs and to make Egypt competitive on a global scale.
No matter how long the distance is, different cultures can be blended together. An Indian lady packs her culture, stops by Egypt, and has a lot of stories to share. Sally Kandil has the scoop.
No matter what you do, home is home. You will be Egyptian no matter where you go. You'll be Spanish wherever you go. You know, it's like you maintain your culture because that is who you are, your identity. And I will never be Egyptian, and I don't want to be Egyptian either. It's just the fact that I can be Indian in a different country is amazing. I'm Mariam Abu Haidari. My name's not very Indian, but I am 100% Indian. And I've been living in Cairo for around 2 years. I was supposed to be only 2 days and see the pyramids and go back. And I met my ex-husband. He's ex, but you know, whatever. But and we fell in love and we met. He worked at the hostel where I was gonna be staying at, and it was just magic. Unfortunately, our marriage didn't last very long, but you know, I think that is something that kept me in Egypt. Just the thought that I love somebody so passionately that I grew to love his country because of him. I work as a language teacher, an English teacher at an American school in Cairo as well. I'm teaching Indian dancing, and I have like a small Indian business that I run out of my house where I design Indian clothes and, you know, like sell a little bit like some items from India, products, natural products from India. So I'm doing a little bit of everything, trying to make the most of my time here in Cairo, in Egypt. Yeah. Both cultures love music and dance, and I feel like we need to explore this connection, you know. And sometimes you find so many Arabic words in the Indian language, and you know, things I wouldn't have known if I wasn't here. Okay, so like when I come to know, and people are very friendly, they're open, you know. It's just so I think that this is very similar to the Indian culture, and people like I actually love just living here. Oh, so the Arabic words some of the Arabic words I have learned are mozza. I love this word, and it's funny because that's the first word I have really learned. And then words like مش قادرة and غالي جدا, يا جماله, and hello Adi, and like النهار الأبيض. I am Zoroastrian. Zoroastrianism is the ancient religion from Iran. It's almost extinct now. It's very few of us left in India and very few in Iran. It's a religion that preaches good thoughts, good words, good deeds. And Zoroastrians have blended into like all the religions. Like you'll find us celebrating Hindu festivals, you'll find us celebrating Muslim festivals. So it's a very, very integrated kind of religion. It's not even a religion anymore, it's just a way of life. And that's what's interesting about it. I've been to Iran before. It's a country that shares a very rich history, like Egypt. And this is another reason that I feel this connection to Egypt, like the past history. I love history, you know, and I just wish that people would preserve their history and respect it, you know. Sometimes it's really disheartening. You see beautiful buildings and architecture in downtown, and then it's all vanished, you know, it's just like crumbling. There's one thing about Cairo that I do not like, and I must point it out, is like the harassment we face on the streets of Cairo. And at first it was like, and I'm very modestly dressed. I never dress like out of way, you know. So for me it's like, why should you even bother? You know, it's like, but it gets to a point where it's really distracting and it's annoying. And so this is not common in India. Nobody would do that. In India, we wear sleeveless and we wear shorts and nothing. Nobody says anything to us. The parts where the man is in it, okay? Like you feel like there is a male figure in there, male actor. Is you have to recognize his presence because he's singing to you. Egyptian men are charming, unfortunately, but that charm doesn't last very long. Like when it's good before marriage, and then once you marry them, I don't know where this charm disappears. Egyptian women are gorgeous, they're beautiful, you know? If they don't overdo their makeup and, you know, if they look natural, it's like amazing. Like I just wish they would do that, because every time I walk through Zamalek, the Zamalek crowd is different. They're always done up. And I feel like, what am I? Like I need to do something to myself because I don't fit in. Indian culture is very colorful, as we all know. Now, it's not that these are Indian colors. You have them too in Egypt. It's just that Indians are not afraid to blend colors and use colors together. So there is no specific color that you wear during a day. Okay, yes, when you get married, the most common dress is like red, or it's maroon or green. But there's no specific color you wear during a season. So you'll find me in different clothes all the time, and I'm a designer, so I'm never afraid of using colors together. And lots of my colleagues at work, they're like, oh my God, Indian colors, I love them. It's like, no, they're global colors, and they're just about like, you need to just feel free and wear them and put them together and not be afraid. So there's so many stereotypes about Indian culture. You know, when people see me, they're like, you don't look Indian, where is the black hair? And I'm like, no, we don't all have, it's movies only. And not everybody in India is beautiful like you think. You know, you need to come and see, you know. I want to establish Bollywood dancing in Cairo. And so I'm starting gradually and small, and then I will also like expand my business to where I have a gallery of my own. Like right now I'm operating out of my apartment, which is fine. But you know, gradually expand and make it bigger. Like get Indian culture to be popular, not from the side of the embassy, but from the people, the community. You know, I want people to understand the Indian culture.
Speaking of India, yoga is a kind of sport that not many Egyptians are familiar with. In the next story, we're taking a deep look into the origins of yoga and how it has been recently introduced to the Egyptian community.
Yoga is every second, every minute, you know? Yoga is sitting with a bunch of people and they're saying things that I don't like. And still in my heart, I'm feeling, wow, they are such amazing people. I bless them.
Have you ever wanted to accept your destiny as it is, but you couldn't? If your answer is yes, yoga might be your choice.
The most amazing thing about yoga is that you become a selfless servant, which means it's called karma yoga, and which means that whatever you do it because it's your dharma, which means it's your path, it's your mission, it's your duty.
Yoga means union, to unite the body and the mind. Yoga is not a kind of sport, nor is it just meditation. It's a doctrine, a style of life.
So in yoga, we work on becoming unattached to desires and to notice our desires and to just cut them. You know, I really, really want that chocolate now. Okay, but I won't have it. It's called austerity, you know?
People usually start yoga as a way to relax and meditate, but it goes much farther than that. It even changes the yogi's eating habits.
You know, you become a vegetarian. And a lot of people say, I didn't choose it, it chose me. And it's true, because in the body we have 3 gunas, which are qualities in the body, right? And yoga makes your body really, really sensitive. So you notice that if you eat a certain food, how it's going to make you feel after versus another one. So the thing is with meat and chicken is that they're they're hard to digest. So they take a lot of energy to digest.
When they are on the mat, yogis claim to have greater power in their hands. Meditating clears the mind and helps access what some people call the law of attraction.
We started to trust the wisdom that created us, and it guides us. And the more we follow, the more we love it, and it's effortless. Our thoughts becomes like prayers. You think of something, it happens. You think of somebody, they show up, you know?
While most practitioners think about yoga in a spiritual sense, science views it differently.
What yoga or meditation can do is helps interrupt that cycle, literally the cycle in the brain. So our neurons talk from one to each other. Like imagine I'm telling you a message and then you're telling her a message and then she's telling her a message and so on and so on. Yoga or doing the one mindfulness literally interrupts that so that chain of messages doesn't keep happening. So when our body's thinking, oh, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, and then you do this exercise, those messages of I'm stressed, don't go to all the other neurons. So it's like closing a door in a way.
Each person has 7 main energy centers called chakras. Yoga helps balancing the energy in these chakras. As a result, some yogis assume to have higher intuition.
Plus, the practicing of the yoga itself, it keeps the 7 wheels of energy in our body on, which means we have healthy throat chakra, healthy heart, healthy power center, third eye you can see through.
And in meditation, we sit there and we channel energy up and we focus sometimes at the brow points and just breathe. And what this does is it strengthens your place. It's known as the third eye because we have 2 eyes that we can see with, and this is the third. So even though it doesn't exist, it is an eye that allows you to see the unseen, intuition, know the unknown. So we practice to make that more sensitive. And then we start becoming very, very sensitive to our intuition.
There is a huge debate on the origins of yoga. Some assume that it was initiated by old Egyptians, while others believe it was originated in India. Actually, you may find yoga practices in many old ancient cultures.
The yoga is an integral part of many, many communities, but maybe they don't call it yoga. Because yoga encompasses many things. It encompasses proper breathing, proper relaxation, being kind to oneself and kind to others, not stealing, non-violence, being content and happy all the time regardless of the outcome, you know?
Unlike other sports, yoga practices rely mostly on breathing techniques.
So what differentiates yoga from other sports is that yoga is about the breath. So remember, we're trying to unite body and mind. So in exercise classes, you're just working on the body, right? You want stronger muscles, you want to be more lean, you want to tone this, you know, you're working on your body. But what about the connection between your mind and your body?
Some people believe that they have accepted their destinies after practicing yoga. Shahad Al-Hamdan for AUC TV. For many people now, owning a dog is a way to feel secure. But what if a young lady's voice can silence a lion's roar? Selma Sirri spent a day with a lion trainer and a group of her trainees.
In the tales of the jungle, the lion roars and all the creatures can do is run. But in this story, the rules of the jungle don't apply. Here you see her enter the cage, and the wild cats sit down obediently. And Nusa Kutas, the youngest female lion tamer in Egypt and the Arab world, who gave up a career in international law to do what she loves the most. She has been born and raised in 2 families that established the circus industry in Egypt. To her, they're anything but beasts.
أنا بثق في الأسود أكتر ما بثق في الإنسان أو أشخاص حواليا. يعني أنا وقت ما بكون متضايقة حاجة معصباني حاجة مضايقاني ببتدي أنزل أقعد مع الأسود بطلع الأسود هنا ونقعد نلعب أنا وهم مع بعض.
It's not just a profession for her. As a young girl, she used to play with lion cubs instead of dolls. She spent countless hours in the circus with her father and famous grandmother Mahassan Al-Helu, rehearsing with the lions and tigers.
اول مره بقى ادخل اسود في وسط شو، وجات من هنا فكره ان انا اكون مدربه اسود. ان واقفه في وسط الحديد قاعده ببص كده اللي هو انا نفسي ادخل، نفسي اقدم العروض دي، نفسي. بابا قال لي، قلت له بابا بليز عايزه ادخل بس مره واحده، اعمل حركه واحده. في حركه الاسود بترفع ايديها تحيي الجمهور، فدخلت علشان اعمل الحركه دي. فوانا بعمل الشو اتاري بابا وانا بعمل الاسود بجيبها تقعد على الترابيزات بتاعتها، كان بابا خرج بره القفص سابني لوحدي في وسط الاسود. فانا بخلص وخليت الاسود ترفع ايديها وبتنزل ايديها، بلف ببص على بابا ما لقيتش بابا جوه القفص، لقيته بره القفص.
Having the entire family in the same business is no easy thing for her. Despite what many might think, competition is intense in the family as two of her cousins are also lion tamers. But she strongly holds her grandmother as a role model, believing that she gave her the best advice.
هي جريئة جدا، علمتنا الجراءة كلنا. فهي أول درس ادتوني، قالت لي خايفة تفتحيش باب القفص ولا تدخلي. طول ما انت خايفة تحس ان انت جريء وقلبك قوي، خش على طول.
نفس البيع بتاع الاطواق ونفس البيع بتاع البنطلون في القلع.
Outside the cage, you'd usually see her with her father, Medhat Kuta, who has been a lion tamer all his life.
شخصيتها مع البني ادمين قويه. مع الحيوانات هي ما تشتغلش معاهم بشخصيه قويه، بتشتغل بك اصحاب اصدقاء، لدرجه انا اقعد اقول لها ما فيش حاجه في حيوانات مفترسه صداقه ودهوت، لازم يبقى في حد.
Medhat recently got attacked by 4 lions in a brutal accident he miraculously survived according to doctors. Anousa took his place during his recovery and the show never stopped. And shocking enough, she continued working with the very same lions from the attack.
طبيعي حضرتك انا كأب وهي ما عنديش اللي هي طبيعي بخاف عليها. محدش يقدر يقول لك ده لا. بس خوفي بيبقى مضاعف، ليه مضاعف حضرتك؟ لأن أنا بشتغل نفس المجال، فحاسس بخطورة الحاجة دي كويس قوي.
Having these two intense personalities in the same place rarely ends without tension over the smallest details of the show.
كل واحد له تكنيك مختلف، تكنيك الولد غير تكنيك البنت، فأنا بحاول أنسى ساعات، وده ساعات هي تقول لي يا بابا أنا بنت مش ولد، أنت فاهمة أنا يعني مثلا كانت تقعد هي ترضعهم، تقعد تديهم الحاجات دي، أنا ما عنديش طول البال ده، يعني أنا أعمل ده بس ما عنديش طول البال ده، هي صراحة عندها طول البال في الحتة دي قوي 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 قوي، وعندها يا صبر أيوب.
معرفش، وجهة نظره لازم تحترم يعني، بس بالنسبة لي لا، يعني مش هيغير طريقي أو هيغير مساري أو هيغير حاجة، بس هو هيفيدني.
For Anousa, life might slightly be unlike any other Arab woman. She expresses how the society treats her a little different when they know what she does for a living.
والله في ناس بتتقبل الموضوع ان هي واو فرحانين شايفين بنت مدربة اسود، وفي ناس مدربة اسود ايه، لا 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 منظرك اصلا وشكلك ما يديش مدربة اسود. يا جماعة والله مدربة اسود الموضوع بالنسبة لي موضوع زي مش حب، لا موضوع عشق يعني، وصلت له انا هنا، يعني انا دي عشتي، انا احب السيرك.
What could possibly scare the youngest lion tamer? When it comes to Anousa, the real fear is that of failure. The most important thing for her is to succeed in putting a dazzling performance, measure up to her grandmother's ideals, and contribute to a centuries-old art. Salma Sirri, AUC TV.
Actual passion that's attached to this.
The Egyptian Arabian horse is a national treasure, which has been a part of Egyptian history for centuries. It is the striking beauty and superior performance of this horse that has earned it a place in the hearts of horse lovers all around the world. For AUC TV, this is Taimur Al-Alfi.
That's all for today. For more updates, you can visit us on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you and goodbye.